here. Well, listen, people get in here, I'm going to start talking about the crash. So, if you notice, this camera's kind of got like this weird, about right here. So I know there's glare from the background, but there's a reason for that. Wouldn't be so bad if it wasn't for all the scuffs on the glass. My webcam is an old action camera. And, it sucks as an action camera, but it's actually pretty cool for a webcam. I might actually get it new again, you know, just for that reason. Because it actually does have a decent picture. Like I said, it's supposed to be 4K. The only thing it don't have is stabilization. And it doesn't have that wide, you know, angle of view for like, you know, riding and shit like that, you know. But I don't know, it works. Works perfect for a webcam. It's way better than what you're going to get just off the shelf at Wally World. At least this one's 4K and all that good stuff. Allegedly. You gotta take that with a grain of salt sometimes. But the reason it's got this scuff on the glass, when I crashed my bike, it's about right there. But that's why you see the glare, like this weird little haze. Right, hell, let me get my finger. There we go. All right in here. It was where I was wearing it on my chin, you know, with my helmet, my full face helmet. And when the deer popped out, and you know what sucks is I had that camera on there, but it was dead because the battery on this thing kind of sucked. But it was dead. We had just got out the trails. We was recording all them trails, which I posted all that in my actual videos. Which you can see it sucks as an action camera. But come out the trails. The buddy I was riding with, he had a GoPro, but he had his turned off. We just got the trails. He hit the button, turned it off. He could have caught the whole accident on camera. I would have been another, you know, you would have seen my crash out there. It was a wild one too. Wish we would have got it, you know, but it was like slow motion. We just got out some serious, you know, twisties in the mountains, man, and there was this one straightaway, and thankfully it happened there, because I could have went off the side of a mountain, you know, it would have been awful. But we just got out the twisties. I just round this corner. We just saw the 11% grade going down, and it was just a straightaway that went down, you know, and right there at the top of it, though, man, I'm going about 55, 60, and just a little, you know, just a little deer pops right out, and it was like slow motion after that. It was the wildest thing ever, you know. I saw when the you just see it. It's just it replays in my mind all the time. My front tire hit his neck like that. His body swooped around. Now I thought, according to my buddy, he said I didn't land on the deer, which I don't guess I did. But I swear I landed on that deer. I landed on something that seemed like it was soft, you know. But I guess it was just me. My bags, I guess. It's probably my backpack because it was pretty scarred up. But anyhow, deer comes around, smacks the lower case, low sides me. Good. Could have been worse, could have been a high side. But what happened was, when I low sided, it had my leg underneath pinned, and mind you, gravity's not my favorite. It's 11% grade. I'm sliding for a minute with the KLR, and I was finally able to get my foot free and kick away from it. As soon as I kicked away from it, that's when the bike tumbled and, you know, did its thing. I skirted off to the side of the road into the gravel. Anyhow, I stood up. I'm checking, doing the check. You know, hey, nothing's broke, shockingly. I'm looking. I got gravel. I'm all, you know, rashed up here. Of course, I was squidding. Don't squid. Just don't. But, and what was bad was I was wearing a jacket. You know, I was wearing a jacket the whole time. It got hot, you know, so we was like, I gotta take this fucking thing off. So I did. Had it strapped to the back. Well, it wasn't doing me no good right now, so all this was skint up pretty good. Knee was skint up pretty decent. left leg, ironically, for being pinned underneath the bike, it actually fared pretty well. Uh, Bike, I'm gonna tell you something about KLR, man. A KLR can take a freaking licking and keep on a going, keep on a ticking. But dude, we stood the bike up. It didn't leak not a drop of fluid out of that whole thing. It bent the frame, the whole nine, right? But it still rode 3.5 hours home. Just about 4 hours. Yeah. Shocked me how that held up. But yeah, picked up the little bits of piece of plastic that we found, and of course gathered all my gear. I had to swap some things over. My freaking my 45 was hanging out. Luckily it didn't get skint though. There was a propane tank that almost got, I still got it too. It's like you can see it was just getting into the metal, fixing to go through, and that was crazy. Anyhow, yeah, that could have been an explosion. That would have been awesome. No, it wouldn't have been awesome with me right there on it. Yeah, picked it all back up, straightened some things out. We made it down the road. Now, I know I don't know why the hell I was checking on him, dude. I'm the one that crashed. And I said, I don't know why I did this, man. He come running up, man, you okay? I said, no, are you okay, man? Well, you got in an accident. Adrenaline's a hell of a drug. We made it down the road, and but oh yeah, by the way, about the camera, that's how it all started anyways. So I still got so there's a scar going up the camera right here on the front screen deal, and it nicked the glass. There's actually a scuff on the glass right here, just off to the side, and that's why we got the glare. But to finish that story out, well, we made it down the road. This has been about 4 years ago now. Yeah, about 4 years ago. Made it down the road, or in September. Yeah, this coming up. Wait, no, yeah, 4 years. Yeah, Jesus, golly, it's early. Anyhow, made it down the road. We found this. It wasn't necessarily a gas station, but like the store part was like a gas station. It was probably about 10 o'clock at night, at this point. After picking things up and all that, we went inside. I asked them, I said, hey, do y'all have a first aid kit or anything like that? And they did. Obviously, they brought it out and all that, and they had iodine. Perfect. So I go in the women's restroom. Fuck the men's restroom when it comes to dressing a fucking wound. A lot cleaner. Went in there. Obviously there's no women up, around. I left the door open. It was just like a single, small place. Anyhow, I'm sitting here washing the gravel out, getting all that out, and got all that cleaned up pretty good. I iodined it. I wrapped it up really good, and we slipped a jacket on. We made it all the way the rest of the way home, and I don't know. Just I got lucky on that one. Could have been worse. Could have been way worse. But yep. My buddy, he was like, you ain't gonna not stop. You're not gonna stop riding, are you? I was like, hell no, I ain't gonna stop riding. Hell, shit, we still now I gotta try to drag his ass out there again. It's like every time I plan a trip out there. Just recently, I went out there. I spent 9 hours on the bike on a CRF 300L, not the rally, not the comfortable one, the dirt bike one. Yeah, same bike. I mean, the rally and the CRF 300L are basically the same bike. The 300 Rally has better, seating, has more comfort. It's got a bigger tank, the whole nine. Which mine, I put a bigger tank on mine, but because that was just a have to. But yeah, dude. Trying to get them out there to ride, man. It's hard finding people that actually go out there and go on adventures. It really is. I make it work. Shit, I'll ride out there, hit the Ozarks, go all through the mountains. I have no problems with that. I love it. Even after the crash, I still love it. A little more cautious, though. I thought I was cautious before. Hell no. I'm looking for them little bastards. But, yeah. Gotta respect the Ozarks, but I love it. Like I said, I go out there and I live off the bike for an entire weekend. I didn't do it this time. Wife's pregnant and all that, but I didn't want to stay out there too long because it's already hard enough with her right now with a 2-year-old, having to Yeah, if I leave for a whole weekend, it's just hard. So I left for that 9 hours. I'll come back. But yeah, normally, shit, I live off the bike. I love it. I do the quote unquote stealth camp shit. You might catch me in the middle of like in one of them islands in a freeway or something. That's got all the trees and shit. Probably super illegal, but fuck it. You might catch me in there. Hell, it just depends. If it's a state type deal, state park or something like that. Which I don't do fires, so I ain't got nothing to worry about as far as that goes. But I just string a hammock up, sleep, get back on the road. But yep. And I guess the beautiful thing about the Ozarks, if you want to pack light, because hey, what's up, T-Man? But if you want to pack light, you can. For instance, food. Like, you don't have to carry camping shit. You don't have to, like, as far as, the the cookware, because that one time when I hit the deer, I did all that, and it's kind of pointless. In the Ozarks, you're not far from anything. You're not far from food. You're not far from nothing. So what I figured, it's a lot easier, I mean, fuck it. I mean, hell, think what you would, I don't care. But, say that out loud. But, you can go down the road and find fucking restaurants, quick shit, just, you're riding. More than anything, you're riding. You can just grab a couple of biscuits and, sausage and biscuits and just go. That's breakfast. Boom. Shoot down the road. You didn't have to carry all this camp gear. You didn't have to cook something in the morning. You could just ride. And that's what it's all about, For me, I just want to get out there and ride. I don't care about the whole, like now, if I was going out somewhere far, let's say I was taking the Trans-America Trail, okay, now you're talking. Now you got to start carrying the camp gear. You got to do the lightweight shit, but for what I was doing, you're not far from food, so, I mean, you could drive probably about, at most, an hour, anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour and find something. Really not even that long. The only time you'd have to worry about that, for instance, is that 6-hour trail I go through. There's 6 hours of nothing. But that's a trail, so just eat before you go in there. Maybe carry a little bit of something, but just food that's already ready, something that you can just pop a seal on and eat. But yeah. But that's the kind of riding I like to do, and that's just kind of how I do it, Eagle Nut 3000, what's up, buddy? But yep, I don't know if you heard, T-Man, that's why this camera's got a glare right here. Well, shit, let me coordinate my finger. There we go. Well, it's got a glare right there. That's from when I crashed. I was wearing this camera, which works surprisingly well for a, like if I was to get another, for instance, desktop camera, it would be this. Because the picture's actually really great. It's just, it's got scuffs on it from when I crashed. Always eat and do your stretches before work. Yep. At least I ain't like a normal operator. I still work. Yeah, I know a lot of people, they get really fat. They get really fat behind the controls. No, I still gotta work on all the shit. That's like the track hill went down. It was bad. It actually stalled out on us. The low fuel pressure sensor actually broke in half. Now, how that happened, beyond me. There's nothing that can get to it. It's behind an entire counterweight. Unless you stab something through that entire counterweight, you got bigger problems. But it's behind the counterweight, and it's up there about midways towards, up the motor. There's no way. Anyhow, somehow that broke in half, and that threw a bunch of codes, derated it, and then I don't know how, Because I still had half a tank, and I confirmed it was half a tank, because obviously, you know, sometimes gauges fail. But, it stalled out on us, and it lost prime. So after repriming it back up, she was fine. Yeah, after the new sensor and the fuel water separator sensor. But I don't know, just weird. Just weird. I'll tell you this: I wouldn't buy new equipment. Let's say this right here goes somewhere. Let's say we get big enough of a channel to where I could buy my own equipment and we can actually do shit on our own. You know. For instance, like, let's say you see all those people that do all the free yard services and everything because they make more money off of the social media and then they start helping people out. Wouldn't that be awesome if we could do, like, for instance, we can get an old Traco, go out and do demolition and cleanup, you know, like knocking down houses. Because if you're doing that shit for free to help people out and you're doing it for the content, of course, I mean, you would have endless content. You realize the amount of freaking people that would be calling you left and right because you will do it for free, you know? I don't know. There's something like that. But I'll tell you this much. I don't give a shit how much money. There ain't going to be no brand spanking new ass machine. I can't stand that new shit, dude. The DEF, the EGRs, all that bullshit. It's nothing but a plague. That 2019 John Deere, if a sensor, a fuel water separator sensor, old machines will run on gallons of fucking water, no problem. You can pour water down the gullet. They'll run a little shitty, but they'll run. You know, they ain't going to care. They are not going to lose that much power. They're just going to push through. These new machines? Nah. Dude, for you to shut down a whole ass machine over a faulty sensor, that's kind of like, okay, I put my eyes on it. I know it don't have water in it. I know it doesn't, you know, I've checked. I've drained the bottom of the tank. I've taken and, you know, checked it, drained the fuel water separator. There's no water. It's just straight diesel coming out. So why, you know, it's a faulty sensor. I made that. I can tell you it's a faulty sensor. I don't mind the light being on, but don't derate the fucking machine and drop the power to nothing over some bullshit. You know, that's what I don't like. You know, I do not like new machines because of that reason. And you want to talk about frustrating trying to operate a machine that's low on power, go back to my prior, you know, lives that I was operating around, you know, the shop. Because it'll do great in the morning. When you start out, you'll see I got some power. I'm able to move around and do shit, you know. And then the second it falls on its face, golly, dude, it's just so slow. It can barely walk. You can't even turn the machine. It's so slow on power. Low on power. Let's see. Yeah, we gotta get you another camera. What's the channel about, man? Dude, we normally destroy cars, man. What we do, we prepare cars for the baler. And then we'll get in the baler and bail them up. That's normally what it's about. But here lately, I finally got a computer. We're still getting better with OBS and all that. And I don't know, I just put a live view outside. This is the sun coming up. You know, just shit like that. And I don't know, we're just turning into kind of like, this is like an after the crush, right? That's kind of what I titled it as. So we can kind of like just shoot the shit, you know. And hey, if you got questions about the crusher, if you got questions about the Traco, you know, it'd be great. I mean, like I said, it's kind of like just, this is the general part of the channel, but if you go back in the other lives, you'll see where I'm in the machine and we're tearing cars down. You know, it's live. When we do it, it's live, you know, and people ask questions as we're doing it. Now, sometimes I can't get to the questions. We're busy, you know, and obviously, but I'll try to get to everybody that I can. Let's see. Pelvis thrust keeps you in shape. I can run an excavator. I can run a front end loader. See, we got a front end loader too. It's a Case 630 or Case 620D. Sorry. Let's see. What do you prefer, John Deere or Caterpillar? Caterpillars are nice, but they do be expensive. Now, old school Caterpillar. Yeah, old school Caterpillar. Hitachi. Yeah. Now, LeBaire. I like LeBaires. I love those. And they got some massive ones at the mill, dude. Them freaking things tower stories tall, dude. They're scrap handlers. And they're the biggest machines I've ever seen. I was like, they got a front end loader. Now, I don't know the number on this loader, but I'll tell you what, I could drive a semi-truck into its bucket. I can, like, if I was to jackknife, I could actually jackknife a trailer and truck and all into its bucket. It's that big, and that's across the river. Yeah, it's crazy how big they make that shit. Shit, I've seen them pour slag out, and if you ever see them do it in the rain, you'll see explosions and shit. It's pretty cool when it hits pockets of water. Yep. Me personally, though, I don't know, Caterpillar, Komatsu, things like that, but the older school stuff, yeah. Once you get past 2008, that's when or 2007 to 2008, that's when you start getting into EGRs, and just machines have been suffering ever since. It's like, if you don't find a machine that had that shit deleted way early on in its life, you're gonna have problems. You gotta remember, in an EGR, it's sucking its own, exhaust back in. And if you pull the intake off of one of the machines, it's got crust. Carbon crust that freaking thick, dude. And that shit flakes off and goes inside the machine. It's awful for them. It's like the dumbest thing the government ever forced. Up earlier, haven't been to bed yet. I'm just up early. Not even that early. Hell, I slept in a little bit. We stayed up late last night. But late for us, because again, a lot of the shit that we do, are like 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, I stayed up till like 12:30 something last night, which fucking late when you get up that early. So, yeah, I was pretty tired. Let's see. I'm a caterpillar. I love the cats. What time is it over there? Shit, it's clock on there ain't right. I hadn't set it back. About to be 8 o'clock. But yeah, that's like, government, they forced that whole deaf shit, and they said it's, economical. Of course, California type shit. And they forced this shit saying it's better for the environment. And then proceed to bottle this shit in plastic in a disposable one-time use container that's wrapped up in a one-time use box. It's like, better for the environment, you say. Just, Jesus, dude. All the breakdowns, all the equipment failures and all that, dude. And sometimes when they fail bad, and they're just releasing all kinds of shit, right? Wouldn't it be better just to have a fucking machine that run right, got the job done, and that was it, The faster you get the job done, the sooner it's over. I don't know. Just government and its infinite wisdom. Let's see. Just the hand controls and the Caterpillar are so easy to use. Yeah. Have you ever used one of them old skid steers? Like, I'm talking about the old ones. We got a guy, good old friend of ours. He has one he bought. He didn't know any better, and it's one of them freaking weird ones. Like a zero-turn mower? It's like that. Now, the ones I super hate, this one right here, I could probably do. You can get used to this one. But the ones that I really hate are the ones that are, it's like a zero-turn lawnmower, but then the stick is, this one is like the tilt. This one over here is the arms going up and down, and that just fucks everything up. You can get good at it, but I don't want to. I'm used to, like I said, this is the easiest one, the best one, and you can work pretty fast with it. It's all your drive control on the left side, all your arm control on the right side. But the one he's got, the sticks are just the drive, and then the foot pedals are your arms and tilt. I can kind of do that. It's still weird, but I don't know. I feel like you can get pretty fast with that. But yeah, now it's dangerous though. I will say that motherfucker, even in park, I don't know why it does this. I'm assuming this is how it's made because we checked all that. All that shit's working. Because it won't drive. And I think that's all the park means for in that one. It's just the drive. As far as the arms go, they will still fully function if you hit the pedals. And the problem is when you're crawling inside the machine, you're hitting pedals. So it's best to shut that damn thing off. Look at the bird. What you doing, buddy? Here, hold it. Squirrel. Anyhow. Yeah, it's just, to me, yeah, I don't know. I just prefer, keep it simple, stupid. That's my, my take on it. Oh, those are the case controls. Yeah, exactly, dude. A lot of them are case, yeah. Yep. As far as Tracos go, I use the what everybody calls European controls because that's what the baler is under, you know. And the baler, you have to swap hoses because it don't have no fancy little valve you can swap back and forth like the Tracos do. But luckily the Traco, I just keep it set as the same as the baler, and that's why me and Chasten really work, you know, as far as you know, as a crew. Because again, I run the baler all that time, and now he's in there. He's used to those controls, and now I got the Traco set to those controls. See, where Ferenzio, he runs flat out opposite controls. You know, like the standard old controls you get in a Traco, and that's where it kind of fucks a lot of shit up. So now, if it comes down to it, and one of us are down, you know, like let's say one of us had to go home early, I can do Chasten's job too. You know, if I have to go home early for whatever reason, he can do my job too. You know, so I mean, it's not like you know, we're down over, you know, one guy not really knowing the machine, because that's the one thing Frenzio wouldn't do is run that baler. I know a squirrel. Yep, I swear I got that squirrel. Yep, but yeah. I don't know, man. That's like, he even said yesterday, whenever Frenzio came up, he was like, yeah, no, we didn't get much done. It's just, I know, man. Like I said, man, Frenzio likes to drag a job out, you know, and it's not right. I feel bad about it, you know. Yeah, I understand that, yeah, it's always great to make more money and all that, but at the same time, when you're costing other jobs, it's not worth it. It costs you more money in the end, you know, because now you go that much longer in between jobs. See, depending on how fast we get out of here, is you know, how fast we can get into another job. But trying to get Frenzio to understand that, just impossible. You know, stuck in his ways, if that makes sense. That's like, he'll fully agree. Like, you can be talking to him and everything, like, hey, this is the plan for the day and all that, and he'll be like, oh yeah, okay, nodding his head the whole nine, you know, like he understands you, and won't understand a fucking word you said. Just not a fucking word. Feed. What is the feed slow or something? I'm saying excellent. But yep. Oh. Hell, you know what we could do? Let me do this. Why don't we watch? Yeah, that would be the better idea, wouldn't it? Let's watch. Because it's my content. Hell, they can't say nothing about that. What are they gonna do? Copyright my shit? Let's see, go to lives. Better not copyright my own shit. Let's see. So that's when I was using the baler too, right here. Booyah. I don't want to be doing So let me take this one, separate it from that one. Let me get rid of that. Get rid of that. Open that up. Open that up. Voila. And this is my own content, so they can't see shit about it. I'm writing it down for people to read. And I'll grab this. Yeah, I'm loading the flatbed here. Look at that. This is my normal kind. So you know, you might wonder. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah. We got a front end loader for that. It just depends on the job. For instance, see, that's another problem I have. So I now can see it for like on full screen now. And I know I see it in the cab, you know, as far as the phone mount shaking. It's just machines are so rough, you know. Trying to keep all that shit from shaking, just you gotta have a hell of a freaking hammer mount set. Oh yeah. You can actually fit quite a bit on the flatbed. I can do it on the flatbed. I got a bunch of medium bells like that. Then you got these heavies back here. See, normally I stick my heavies back here. I was sticking them off to the side here. Again, it's just kind of limited room when we're back at home base. You just see all these cars they got parked out here and shit. Most of that should be pretty much going. Again, let's see. Here, I'll turn the volume off. There we go. Is that better? Yeah, now you can hear me, I guess. I got the volume all the way down. But, no, that's wild. The audio works on y'all's end, but not this end. I ain't got no speakers, though. So that's wild. My bad. But, yeah. So I keep these heavies out back. I don't know if you heard that. Which, that one's not that heavy. Actually, these ones back here, yeah, they're heavy. And this one I'm about to grab looks like a heavy. Yep. Anyhow, I normally keep all the bells separated like that. I keep my heavies off the back, and I keep all the mediums off to the side. That's because you get more mediums than anything. Especially out on a job, like for instance where we're at. And Chasten, he's definitely gotten better at stacking, because used to, if you've seen his stacks, they're always leaning towards the baler, and they're not even, and they're always crooked and falling over and leaning, you know, outer in. I finally got him stacking the way he needs to stack, you know, and it's awesome. So he definitely he's getting better, and he's starting to get a little bit faster at things too. So it just takes time, and once he gets good at that, he masters that. I think we will be able to turn some cars out. And I'm gonna tell you, 150 was the last one. And the only reason that was possible, man, is just, you know, trying to keep Frangio focused on, like, let's get the job done. Like, Frangio will start out good on a job site, but when it starts getting down to less and less cars, that's when he starts just dragging it out, you know. And I know he does it. I know he does it bigger than shit, you know. And then I'm the one that catches an earful from the boss man. And I'm like, you know, it's not my problem. It's not like I can walk the baler over there and get it. I can't hop off the baler, run out there, and drag a car to me, you know. Hell, he's the one on the excavator. Let's see. Well, I was wondering if it'd be one of your mods. We'll see. Let's see. Oh, yeah. I think there's a bit of a delay between when I'm talking and when y'all are actually seeing it. Let me see. I don't know. Yeah, weird. But, yeah, just trying to get him to work with that. And I'm telling you, me and Chasten, when we first got on that job site in Memphis, we did 100 cars in half a day worth of work. I believe me and Chasten could do probably 200 cars in a day. Because 150 was the most we've ever gotten out, you know, in one day's running, you know. And I bet if we was to run a 10-hour day, we could do 200 cars. Because that's what we was running up there in Kentucky. We was running 10-hour days. You know, you'd have to drive shit hour and... It's about an hour and a half, hour 45 getting home, you know. So, we were pretty tired at the end of the day getting home. Wasn't that bad of a drive, though. It's not like driving to Memphis. Driving to Memphis sucks. Anytime you gotta go to Memphis just fucking sucks. That wasn't too bad. Yeah, yeah. So like I said, this is the way. So I see the frames dropping. Sometimes the signal does that, especially around the shop. But it's a lot better than what's over there in Memphis. So in Memphis, if you ever catch like it's been the same yard that I streamed from the last like stream I did with the machines. Uh, Normally I'm in this baler and where I'm at because the baler sits way higher up and it's obviously in one spot and that spot that I'm always in. I actually have pretty good signal there, but when you're in the traco low to the ground and there's that hill right there, you don't have shit for signal, and it kind of fucks you up. Yep. So I couldn't even live stream, man. It was just it wouldn't stay connected. It would keep dropping the stream. Like it would just end. You're like, hey, do you want to end the stream? Like yeah, it just stops it. Like fuck you. Run that bitch. But now they stop it after a certain amount of signal loss. That job down in Mississippi, they had really good signal. They had a freaking phone tower right. I mean, like right next to this place. That old baler, man, it is a beautiful machine. We'll see if I go over the front of it. You'll see it. It's probably closed up though, most likely. So I told Chase, I said the best way to shut down the baler, anytime you shut it down, even for lunch, always close it all the way up and extend the arm and put it down like you're going to move it. And the reason I do that is if you have to. Because if you have that shit sprawled open and, set off to the side, and something really bad breaks down when you go to try to start it up, it just sucks that much worse. Because now you got to use the trico, chains, break lines loose, lose a shit ton of oil doing this to straighten shit out and to close shit up. And it's not fun. Burn a starter up trying to run the controls, which it won't let you do that. You'd have to jump so many connections on the hydraulics. But no. Like I said, man, it's I always tell them that when you go to lunch, anytime you go to get off the machine as far as like gonna shut it down, always park it like you're gonna move it. That way the only lines you gotta pop are the legs. Stretching. See, I put those just in range because it's the shit I do right here. I'll drag that shit towards me. And the baler, so if you're like, well, man, he's kind of slow with that baler. The thing is, that arm is so underpowered. Which, I mean, again, it's for what it does. The main power of the baler is in the actual... hey, what's up, Chop? Request via mod, isn't it cool? Just show your loyalty. It's cool shit, yeah. What's up, Chop? Chop's from the UK, by the way, T-Man. But yeah, so I could drag all these bells to me, but the thing is that arm, man, you'll see sometimes when I'm trying to pick up, like I'm going full tilt, and when I'm trying to pull it into me, so the fastest thing you can do is to actually pick the arm up, stop, pull the arm in, pick the arm up, pull the arm in. So you have to kind of like run it almost like on off type deal. That's the best way to run the baler. I try to do smooth controls, man. It's so freaking slow if you do that. If it had the power, holy shit, dude, I'd be a unit with that thing. But I can make it work pretty good for what I got. So see, look, watch, see, up, pull in, up, pull in. Like sometimes I'll put the weight on the ground so it actually moves a little bit quicker. But you have to kind of like just back and forth to get it to work. Now I'm gonna grab a good bite, and got me a good bite. Now, I might go to the right side. I don't know. Nope, never mind. So I want to do this job. Let's see. How's it going at Sheep HQ? How's cops? Wait, hold up. Oh, how's? Oops. Damn, I saw that as a C. I gotta get my eyes checked. Man, it's going good, dude. Hell, hey, this is better, right? This is better than just looking outside, is it not? Now we can actually do... So this is... I don't know why I didn't make that make sense. I'm talking about after the crush. It's like, why do you want to look outside? Wouldn't you rather actually watch the video of the crush, right? Yeah. Makes sense. Because now I can actually talk to the chat. No, yeah, he's good, dude. I need to proofread my message. No, you ain't gotta do that. Come as you were, or as you are. I think it wasn't too long after this we hopped back on the Traco, and I believe so. Obviously the Traco still had that D-rate issue, and this looks later in the day, so it's probably still got that problem. Golly, the frame rates are so awful in this video. Oops. Let me see if I can. We're gonna settings. Let's see, quality 480. Let's go to 1080. How about that? Does that sound better? I got the internet to support it. Oh yeah. Alright, let's see if that helps. This shit is so staticky. The phone can handle it. It's just, golly, why would they set it down to 480? It'll probably take a minute for it to pick up. Cause like I said, I got the internet. I got fiber optic internet. Like, that ain't no problem. It shouldn't even buffer. It's still pretty bad. A lot of that probably has something to do with all the glare on the window and the dirty window, and it's a tinted window. See, the Baylor has a tinted window, which of course causes all that because you can see all the reflections right here. Let's see. Oh yeah, he's from the UK, dude. He does eBay, so he has an awesome job. He gets to stay at home, which I mean, he don't get to stay at home. He has to go out and get the shit, but it's a cool job. So like right now it's shit. What's 8 o'clock here? It's what, around 3 o'clock there, Chop. He's moving towards dinner time. Yeah. So that's why I had to tell Chaston. So anytime you ever see me go like towards the cab of a truck, obviously I could lay eyes on the truck driver, but I never go over the cab. I'm always over the trailer, and there's always enough room up front so that if for whatever reason it was to let go, it's away from the truck. Because surprisingly, those trailers are really tall. Like you can kind of like crouch walk and go right underneath them. So if it was to fall off the side of the trailer, it would kind of go underneath. Now, what you do have to watch out for, and I'll say I've had this happen a few times when you get to these new truck drivers. I'm not saying they're new. I'm just saying which I mean the shit they pull though sometimes feels like they're new, but they're new to us. You know, we deal with normally the same crew, Earl and all them, man. Like I said, Caveman, all the like, dude, love my crew, man. They love me. I work with them. I'm probably the only guy out of all these places they go to, because everybody else is a dickhead. You know, I'm probably the only guy who is cool as shit with them. I work with them. I try to make their life easy, right? And yeah, and they, you know, that's why I've gained a lot of respect there. But I know a lot of people are just dickheads to them. But we do get some new truck drivers, and the problem that they want to check their their air pressure while I'm loading the truck. And sometimes I won't catch them. Sometimes because I'm turned around getting a bale and all that, when I go to swing and I'm getting to where I'm on top of it. Now, I'll catch them if they're on the inside. Sometimes they're on the other side, and I'm going to tell you, dude, I've had it happen once, a bale went over the other side. Yeah. That gnat. You had your first sale yet? No, not yet. Still parting the bike out, though. Selling Halloween stuff at the moment. Yeah, dude, hey, I might be one of the buyers. Work nights, 3 p.m. to 3 a.m. Yeah, your night shift, yep. Bro, I want that job. I worked nights for 15 years. Burglar. He's about to start working nights again. He's going to have a new title, Flag Raiser. He's going to be out there raising the British flag everywhere. Find this, bitches. I put a sign on the bottom on behalf of Parliament. So, yeah, I think this is the one. I don't know. I probably filled that gap up on this one, though. I think I had a weird stack up front, so I'll just try to finish it off. That way I can keep eyes on it. Like I said, my Tetris game normally 9 times out of 10 is pretty good. I was able to reach it. And yes, I make all these same sounds in the cab as I'm doing it. Sometimes you gotta entertain yourself. I'm kind of glad I do the live streaming, but at the same time, I just know. I think my boss knows. If the neighbor up there found out and actually said, "Hey, I saw your videos," I know for a fact my boss knows. One of the kids found it, he found it, Becca found it, and they just know they're just not telling me so that they can have a camera in the cab. I guarantee it. They can keep an eye on the progress and all that. And I made that thing. So this thing I made, when we go to wrap this load, which I believe you'll see it in this one, it's nice and all, but it is finicky as shit. I thought I had it fixed until the damn thing bent in half. It's bent right now. I don't think it's broken half yet. And that darn that baling net, man, it just yeah. So you see how it's all opened up. So well, we're gone now. Anyhow, so T-Man, I'm not sure if you've seen the actual baler work, which I don't work it here. I don't think. I might later on in this video. I don't know. But so here I am closing it up. So you see how these doors are? But you see that little door, like that little square piece in the back right there? There's another one right here on this side. Those are 2 rams that come out and actually bails that shit up like this. But you close these 2 doors down. The door on the right's the one with the main power. That's the one with like the, it does all the damage. And then that's what does all the sideways damage. And then once those 2 rams come out, it really packs them in. And I got it set because, again, the machine's always trying to push itself apart. I got it set at like 2400, I think, or 27. No, 2400. It used to be 2700 psi. But I can on some difficult bales, especially like when you're baling aluminum, when you're baling, like for instance, radiators and shit like that. If you really want a tight packed bale that's not going to fall apart, I'll take manual control over the ram part and I'll run it all the way up to 3000 psi. And after that, shit, it ain't coming apart. Lots of fireworks. Can you have flatbed trucks now? So this is his personal truck. Yep. So look, here I am getting the camera out. Uh-oh. Oh, I was about to end it. Aw. Let's go to another one. Let's see, go back. Okay, let's see. Okay, yeah, that was only 2 minutes. So this is the Traco baler again. Traco. Let's do this one. Okay. Let's get started. There we go. So this view, man, okay, I understand the frustrations. So he wanted to save that truck. Did I fix it? Okay, I kind of fixed it. It's not great, though, because this pillar right here. And the problem is some days I forget the charger and I only have that little short cord. So it kind of sucks. So I can't really put it towards the window to eliminate this post, but fuck it. Oh, and I think this was that one I was having all that trouble out of. I ended up getting another one, but I don't think I had it yet. Anyhow. Oh, yeah. Well, we wrap it, yeah. We wrap the truck. Which, come to think of it, let me see. Okay, here I am loading this up. Let me see if I bailed in this one. Ooh, I might have. I did. Alright, here we go. So this is how I normally park the baler right here. Little toy aliens. I buy the plastic toy for a little box. If you just sell it as a bundle. Real quick seller, yeah. Alright, so here's how I normally park the baler. So all the doors shut. This is in its pedestal. And that way if you ever have to move it, you know, you can without too much trouble. Because you can take and run an auxiliary pump, hook it into the lines of the legs, you know, and be able to pull the legs up, you know. Same thing for the front. That's actually how you hook the truck up, is the front legs. That way you ain't got to worry about the motor. Like, let's say the motor grenades or something, you know, which that's an old school, like, type of Cummins. It's just going to work. It's going to work, you know. It'll take a licking. It ain't like that old Traco, man. That sumbitch will run on water. It'll run on slop if you put it in there. Hell, you can put cooking oil in that damn thing, it'll run. Filters might not like it, but it'll run. Yeah, those little Toy Story aliens. Yeah, dude. Everybody kept saying, the claw. So I started doing that, yeah. Yep. Here she is. Now, I do this purely for the camera. Otherwise, I'm already swinging around and grabbing shit while I'm opening it up. Because it's like this. Normally, when I'm running the controls, I'm like all over the controls and shit, you know, making it work. But, yeah, I do that part just for the camera. Anyhow. Grabbing an old car that I absolutely mangled the shit out of. Wait, is that bales? Oh, why the fuck? Oh, I just did it for the camera then. Okay, let me find it. I thought I was about to crush a car though. Hold up. Yeah, see, I closed that door back because it was like, you know, pointless. Well, that sucks. Because I'm preparing for another load. That's what it was. Do I actually have anything to crush? So I was cleaning up here. You can see where I can sling shit. And you get good after a long time, man. You can take, so if you notice, if you watch Chaston, when he runs the claw, sometimes whenever he slings the claw, it'll just sit there and just shake and spin around forever, you know? So you'll see how it's shaking and spinning. Oh, hold up. Here, as I'm talking about this, here I am. Alright, see, I can get it back under control and get it level and stopped. Because otherwise, that shit's going to fly all over the place. So there I am, slinging it. Sometimes you can get it shaking like that and you can sling something out. Which is what I'm doing there. So let me see if I actually build something. Okay, he's backing in. I think that's what that was. Okay, here I am sweeping. So I'll hop back on this machine. Oops. And I'm sweeping. So I was grabbing my sweeper there. And I ain't got much of a sweeper right now. See how small it is? Do I bail something though? Well, geez. Let me go back. Oops, I keep doing that. Let's go back in time. How about that, Chop? We'll go way back in time. Let's go back to where it all started. There's the old ambulance. So if you hadn't seen T-Man, this is my truck. It's a four-door C7500. This is a daily driver, by the way. It's a four-door C7500 Chevy with a Caterpillar 3116 engine with a 6-speed. And I got an ambulance box on the back that I actually stay in on job sites. Well, hold up. Is there going to be one where I'm in the baling? Okay, this should be a baling stream right here. Let's look at the quality. 720. Oh, that's it? Ugh. That sucks. That looks better than the other one, though, don't it? Hey, and I got the good camera angle on this one. Oh, Chasten's running the baler. Oh, okay. Anyhow, so you're cleaning up debris now? Save that truck for what? He saves them for parts. Some of them, man, I don't understand. Some of them I do. I had his ass loaded up with some cars. Oop, my bad. I keep hitting the button right there. My bad. My OCD would get a dumpster for those tires and have done with it. When I started watching and I saw them tossing tires like a frisbee, that was hilarious. Yeah. Go back to the mega pile. Yeah. I'm gonna tell you, dude. Especially, it's not really so much the tires. The shit that falls off these cars, man, when you grab them. It's just ridiculous. Like when you first grab a fresh car before you even do anything to it. Oh yeah, we had to do something. I think, and that's another thing. So this is what's weird. So sometimes things don't make sense, and it's because I'll get a phone call and it changes everything. It just changes everything. Now we got to move all this shit I just put up and got ready for the darn baler and shit, you know, and got to do other shit, you know. I think we was getting ready for a truck then. Let's see. Let's go OG though. OG was when we did like full on widescreen. Here, let me do this. Oldest. Booyah. So I think people have gone back and looked at these, because if you look here, this is about what it averaged. The first ever stream. This is the one me and wait, hold up. That was a vertical. Maybe I didn't know. First stream I did was horizontal. How did that end up there? Don't know. Anyhow, this is Memphis here. Here's where the fire happened. So we had a Smoky Bell. So this was a big one. Of course, it didn't have many views. This is way back. Look, 850 views. Woohoo! look at this. That's all I had for the description. Now I got it all figured out. Let's see. Fire starts at 152.40. Where are we at? 230. Yeah, so you can see all the fire and shit, man. So let's see. We're going through. So here's Frenzio. So I'm cleaning the baler out, getting all this shit out of here. And this is something I've had to show Chasten. And he does. He keeps up with it. There's their loaders. They were dropping all these frames off. We was adding those to the cars. See, look, I'm scraping it all to the front so I can actually get a good bite on it. Let's see. What did I say? 152? Alright, so before 152, though, I had a Smoky Bell. Yeah, and I set it right there. Alright, so this should be the Smoky Bell here. It's one of them. I was picking it up and I noticed the smoke and I said, hold up. I don't trust that. It's probably not that one. Let's try this one. It was not long before the actual fire. And this is where what I always go on about. This is about the whole, worrying about, shit like what do you call it? Cell phones, lithium batteries, shit like that, man. Because small shit can always go wrong. Start a bigger fire. Hey, there it is. No, that was the main fire. Where's where I had that bale at, though? I don't know. So the fire's about to happen, though. Let me see if, let me go to OBS and make sure you are centered. Oh, my bad. Yeah, there it is. So there's the fire. Okay, let me pause that so we ain't losing that. Hey, what's up, Steven? At the truck show. Howdy from New Jersey. I fired up real quick. Got a little magnesium wheel on fire. Pisses me out that I'm watching a live stream, but I'm behind. Doesn't make sense. Test the ground over the product. Keep your claw under control. Start watching us. Oh yeah. Alright, let me go to OBS here real quick. Make sure all that shit's centered to a point. Alright, let's set it there. Okay, so y'all should be able to see that pretty good. Let me go back to... Oh, well, hell, I was already on it. Oh, my bad. Okay. I gotta help. Oh, I gotta go to bed. Oh, yeah, I got you, dude. I got you. Yeah, take it easy, T-Man. Yeah, there's the fire and all this glory going on. I know he blared his horn. Anytime you hear that horn spam, it's never really good. But this is something. This is where I say me and Frenzio. You know, I do shit a lot different. So this is right here. This is a hybrid. So you see where the fire is, right? See, I was putting that, wet, water on it. Wet water. Of course, water's wet. Well, I actually was able to get this one pretty much out. But see how he could have had this shit solved in no time? Like, the fire was small. All you had to do was drag all this shit out the way real fast. And this pile back here. So behind him, just behind him, there's a pile of cars. And the fire wasn't over there yet. And it was heading that way, and all he had to do was move probably about 4 cars, and that shit would have never caught on fire. So right now, we're kind of managing it. But had he had just a little bit more common sense, it wouldn't have gotten as bad as it did. Like, I'm talking fire department probably wouldn't have had to come out on that one. So here they are with the loader, so they really help when they do that. So here comes the loader. He's taking the car away. They're going to take and run and throw it under a hose. Let's see. So now I kind of just watch, and then here he is. See, that one car, it's full on fire. So he shouldn't really have to worry about that one. Just kind of keep it where it's at. It's a lost cause regardless, but... Anyhow, it's all the shit that's around it. Like, had he just acted fast enough... Like, for instance, he's walking over this way. There's a little bit of a fire right there, but that's not really too much of a concern. It's the pile that you got to worry about. And that's just the shit that I don't understand. He went all the way... So when all this shit was going on, he went all the way up the fucking hill and was fucking around with shit up there. Like, why? Why? You know? Yep. See, and instead of tossing shit on it, you should drag that shit away from it. Break the stream, You don't want that shit traveling, you gotta break the stream. Dig down to where there's nothing, there that's flammable. Oh well. What can you do? This is past tense. He still comes back from time to time. Yeah, he comes back from time to time. That's old Forenzio. After this job, after we went to the same place now, we knocked out so many freaking cars. Like, you realize this wasn't even that many cars. The cars we got now, if you look on this back road, they're stacked all up back here too. And I'm telling you, we knocked all that shit out. All that shit out in no time. Like, I'm already, when I say they're stacked all back here, like the stack starts here. It goes all the way around the back of the property and all the way over here. And they're just all stacked high. About halfway up this tree, all the way back in here. And hell, y'all probably can't even see that. Anyhow, back there on that back tree line behind where my boom is, about halfway up them trees is about where it's, well, just below the halfway mark on them trees is about where the top of the pile is. And all this right here, where the arm's sitting, all that shit was full of cars. Where he's at was full of cars stacked high up. I'm talking, there was mounds of cars everywhere. All the way up the hill, all the way back towards that back part there, which is where all the main cars were. I knocked all that shit out. Me and Chase had knocked all that shit out in no time. You know, what is his fucking excuse? You know? And that was despite all the equipment failures and everything we had. There's a difference between getting shit done and fucking trying to drag out a paycheck. I'd hope, and if my boss is watching, I just hope that, if we're finishing these jobs fast enough, I mean, a bonus would be fucking nice, If we're making you a fucking killing in a short amount of time, I mean, bonus would be kind of nice. Maybe a bump up in pay. A little bit more than just coverage for gas. That's like these fires that happen, man. Some fires, for instance, like Bolivar, okay, I get you. Forenzio still could have helped. He kind of did something that pissed the owner of the yard off. He really did, dude. Like, I was out there with fire extinguishers trying to help, We had those refillable fire extinguishers and shit. I was out there with buckets trying to, luckily it rained at some point, so those buckets of, those puddles of water, and I was bucketing that into it, trying to put all these fires out. I was putting in the fucking effort. Forenzio walked the track hoe over to the side and just parked it and, fuck it, He bit into it. Now, I understand, yeah. They said, and I remember the guy said, he says, "Nah, it's my fault. Somehow a hybrid got into these cars. Don't know," because their cars were actually really nicely processed. But what didn't help was when the lithium battery, because I remember it was a full-on explosion. It was like a boom type explosion. Because I happened to, because as soon as I just crushed, this is before this live streaming and all that. Like, I think I started live streaming not too long after that. Anyhow, I just crushed a car. I turned and I was waiting for him to feed another car, and he went to go bite into the top of that and it blew up. Well, a white piece of hot lithium, I saw it, went right over and landed into a pile of gas tanks. Sure did. Now, it was bad, yes, but could have been, saved had he acted fast enough and started getting the stacks of cars away from it. And that's where he just kind of gave up. And then the poor old owner of the yard, man, had to run out there with a freaking loader. He's the only guy with a loader out there that can actually do something. And he's out there moving shit, getting all these cars out. And Forenzio just walks the track over and just parks it. Just sits there. He's like, "Why aren't you fucking helping?" And then he finally got out there and was like moving, but he wasn't moving the right shit, But you see this right here? Okay, he's just parked. He's sitting there talking to him. These stacks of cars are not on fire yet. This fire is getting closer to them. What would I be doing? I would be walking over here, grabbing these cars up. Had he moved these 4 cars right here, that shit would have never caught on fire, and that pile would have never caught on fire. But he didn't. Common sense, man. It's just, I don't know, man. Shut the cab door and go for it. This is back when it had all the windows in it. This is before Mason knocked all the windows out. So you could have done it. Like, you wouldn't have been in the smoke or nothing. It's a nicely sealed cab. Run with it. Like, that would be the time. See, all this stuff was starting to smoke. Right there on the back of that car, right there on the right side of the fire. Had he just walked over there and moved them 4 freaking cars, it would have never caught on fire. It's shit like that just makes me question. Oh, it was full. It was full, dude. It was full. Oh, hell, I guess y'all can't really see. Let me go on OBS and make sure I'm... Man, y'all can't even see that. My bad. That was my goof up. So this is the fire we're looking at. This is what I was talking about. My bad, y'all. Alright, so there's the fire. And if you notice, I'm going to show this again. On the right side of that fire, those 4 freaking cars right there, had he moved them, it would have never caught on fire, and that stack would have never caught on fire. Fucking common sense. Oh yeah, Chop. Yeah, you was there, Chop. Yep. Oh, it was way more full than this. Like this was child's play compared to what we did. When I say the cars were stacked up all around, right where the baler's parked right now, this is exactly the same spot that it's parked on because there's a concrete pad right there they poured for it. That track hoe right there, about a little over the height of that track hoe is how high up they were stacked. And it was from all the way from aisle to where the front of the baler is, all the way back up that hill, all the way over. Like I'm talking stacks upon, which if you watch the first stream, you'll see. You'll see them on that. Because we were kind of getting into them. I'd already kind of started anyways. And then when we caught a small little area that, you know, I had chased and built up pretty good, I started a live stream. But yeah, dude. They had way more. Way more. Like, it was 800 cars. Like, legit 800 cars. Just all in right there. And then he's going to provide 200 more. So we're talking 1,000 cars just here. You know? And we knocked it out that fast. They actually told us, the mill was actually praising us that they had not seen so much tonnage ever come out of a place that fast before. Yeah. Because everybody's riding the fucking clock. Just do your fucking job, you wouldn't have to worry about it. What's up, Jose? Yep. But yeah, that was a hell of a fire, dude. Oh, hell, I turned, didn't I? I gotta chase the... This is the only downside to this view. My bad, y'all. Let me put y'all back in it. We gotta chase the view around. There we go. See how they're starting to smolder? Oop, my bad. See how these cars are starting to smolder? Had he went down there and just moved these 4 freaking cars, man, that shit would have never caught on fire. What can I do, though, you know? I was hollering it. I was yelling it to him, man. So there he is up there, and he's just starting on the backside of it. Like, dude, walk your ass down here and move these 4 cars, and that shit would have never had to been worried about. Fire department pops out here at some point. Oh, and these are also the lives that I would do, where we would actually just park it, and y'all would just sit here throughout the whole lunch. Now I actually cut the live off for lunch, and I'll just start it again afterwards. Which does help, by the way. If you're starting out doing this this live streaming thing, if you stop and then come back and do like 2 streams, 3 streams a day, the algorithm appreciates that. I noticed that too. Boy, this brings back some memories. So look, now the pile's on fire. You see it catching on fire now. This in my country is gold, yep. Even now, this pile could be saved. Just pulling that one burning car out, and maybe grabbing another one that was beside it that was kind of sketch, I can set it out by itself. It still would have been saved. But he's back at the top of this fucking pile moving these cars. Fucking point. It's right there. That's the ones you gotta worry about, my guy. Anyhow. I'm getting pissed off about this all over again. Let me see if I can make it Make it a little bit. Hey, here we go. We got 1080p. All right. Still not 1080p because it looks awful still. Because now I know y'all are seeing what I'm seeing. Ain't no disconnect there. This is screen capture here. I don't know, it got a little better, didn't it? It cleaned up after I said it. Man, dude. If you act fast enough, it wouldn't have been a problem. Now it's a problem. Once that fire starts climbing, it's a problem. Now you can't even get near it. It'll melt everything you got, plastic. Just getting near it. Like all these cars right here and shit, all their bumpers were melted. See, here comes the fire department. They're about to pull in. That's why he was moving all this shit right here. And that's the longest I've ever seen a fire hose stretched out. They actually run the truck. They were pulling that shit off the back, going all the way out to the road where the hydrant was. Man, so out here, it's easy to start. There's a bunch of like lithium batteries and shit. And in this case, it was a hybrid battery that started this. And I had a hybrid battery. And if you go back to my last stream that I was on the machine, like I'm talking my last stream that wasn't this, you know, like the after the crush stuff. I had a small fire. But again, how me and Frenzio operate is completely different. So when I took the battery out the car, first off, I isolated the car. I had the car off by itself. I picked it apart and I gently pulled the battery out, but it did enough. I still didn't trust it. It didn't smoke or nothing, but I didn't trust it. So I left the battery by itself in the middle of nothing, and I ended up finishing the car off and getting it, you know, sent off to the crusher. All right. As I was processing another car and I was, you know, doing other shit, when I come back up there, because I didn't trust it, I kept an eye on it. Sure enough, it was on fire. Now, it was just a short, like, it wasn't a full thermal runaway, so I grabbed it and I moved it out to the road, like out in the middle of the, you know, well, I mean by the road, by the middle of their road, and that's where they dealt with it from there. But yeah. Yep. That was on Saturday. Last Saturday. Yep. And this shit right here could have been 100% prevented. There's the fire department. Y'all should see him come on screen here in just a minute. Yep, there he is. Battery sat in a puddle for days. Yep. The only guy in the video ain't doing shit. Nah, it ain't me. This is past. This is before. I was here, but I'm telling you, dude, if I was on the Trico, it wouldn't have happened like that. That shit right there would have never happened. If you go back, you'll see when it was just a fire right here. This stack, had he moved 4 fucking cars, this shit right here would have never happened. But I can't run over there and just pull him off the machine. He ain't gonna allow that to happen because he knows best. You know, but still, this is him knowing best right here. I can cause that whole stack to catch on fire. The owner get the bill? Oh yeah, he got the bill. Yep. That's what I'm saying, man. And he knew it was a hybrid. He was processing a hybrid, too. That's the bad part. Now, I had a Smoky Bell before this. Cell phones, lithium batteries, shit like that. But yeah. I turned and looked at the fire truck, come back. See, these guys are all the volunteer guys right here. The volunteer firefighters. They're out of uniform. But there's nothing you can do now. It's in their hands. But the time to act would have been when it first happened. When he had the, like, he could have stopped all that from happening had he just grabbed those 4 cars right there. But he just sat there for a minute. If you notice, he just sat right here talking to him, doing nothing, shit going on, right? And then he walks around this side, goes all the way up to the top, and starts fucking with the backside of that pile. You know, if he had went down while the fire was small and grabbed 4 cars, it would have just been this little local fire right here. Would have just been that. Oh well. And it was a rainy winter's day, luckily. Not a dry summer. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, it could have been stopped so easy. But I mean lack of common sense, dude. Some people can be good to a point at operating, but lack complete common sense. It's like their brain don't work whenever shit hits the fan, you know? Yeah. Oh, you'll see one of the firemen on here, they'll spray the ground, and it just kicks a fireball up, you know? There's some volunteer guys in this, so they're still learning. This would be a great learning experience for them. What not to do. Because really, these type of fires, you need the foam. Yep. And them freaking hybrid batteries are still very much hot. Because when I went to go pull out another car, this was off stream. Again, we couldn't make a stream work where I was at, below that hill. It just wasn't going to work. I tried, and you'll see where that stream kind of fucked up. But it was like 2 to 3 streams that I attempted, and it just didn't work. So I kind of gave up on that idea. But I had another hybrid later on, and when I pulled the battery out of it actually sparked. It didn't catch on full on fire, surprisingly, but it did spark. But again, I had it isolated, you know, because I could spot a hybrid, you know, easily. As soon as you pick them up from the pillar, because I always pick up, every car I do, I try to pick up from the pillar, or I pick it up, if I pinch it from the roof, I always pinch it from the pillar of the roof. You know, I don't just full on dig into a car, you know, unless I just know the car. But anyhow, I'll pick them up from the pillar, and as soon as you pick them up, the bottom is exposed to you. You'll see those orange wires. 9 times out of 10 on a hybrid, you see the orange wires on the bottom. Also, if you're just starting from the top, when you pop the hood open on the top, you'll see the controller. You know, there's a big-ass controller on top of the engine. Or on top of the transmission, where the transmission sits. Anyhow, you'll see that, and, you know it's a hybrid at that point. Especially because, even if you don't see that, when you flip it over on the side, boom, you'll see the orange wires. Okay, now I take a step back. I'll set the car by itself. I'll peel the ass end of the car open. I'll spread everything. I'll take and rip the trunk, the deck lid off, pop the back bracing where the seats and all that shit are. I'll open the car completely up, and when I get the battery exposed, I'll lightly kind of grab the battery, and then I'll kind of break because they got little thin bolts in them. It's not like it's super mounted in there. By the way, that shit's inside the car with you. Good to know. Anyhow, I'll peel that shit out. And I'll set the battery off by itself, and then after that, I'll take and punch the controllers and all the shit that maybe in case of one cell got left over, I just make sure, and then I'll stuff the car and bail it. Yep. Let's see. Watch that wheel fire by the firefighter. They had trouble with that. Firemen don't know what he's doing. Water on mag don't work. No, it doesn't. All that lost weight up in smoke. That's right. That's right. Burnt cars don't weigh shit. Yeah. The worst magnesium. Now this is before any. Now I do say this was before anything. I was making little shorts like short videos when I was working at the scrapyard before any of this. Uh, we had a fire down there, and let me see. I'm turning around. Oh, is this when the truck? Yeah, so this is when the truck started unrolling that hose. He went all the way out over there to the roadway, man. Right where all them cars are in the background. That's like the longest I've ever seen him stretch a hose. Anyhow, so when I was working at this one place, they had a big fire. Now, mind you, I was working on the track hoe whenever this fire broke out, right? So the track hoe has no claw on it. It's just a nub. That's all it is. So it's already handicapped. And they have 3 different fire departments out there that trying to fight this fire. They shut the railroad down, the whole 9, dude, because this place, is right next to a railroad. They shut the railroad down. They had one truck one truck with a water truck that kept feeding it on the tracks, or next to the tracks. They had 2 other fire departments just all around us, right? So we're mid-fight of this fire, right? We're getting the fire down, and we're at the point to where now we're finding all the smoldering spots and getting those all put out. And I'm using the nub of the traco to go in and flip shit and move shit around. And we finally make it to this one. It was one of the worst ones that were just smoldering like hell, which means there's most likely something burning underneath, right? Which, when you got shit that's smothered and burning, it's generally magnesium and shit like that. Well, I remember a Volkswagen, like an old school Volkswagen, being inside this pile somewhere. And, yeah, found it. Freaking magnesium block was completely on fire. It was a glob. But they didn't see that. All they saw was the glow, right? They didn't see the actual blob that I saw that was pure, like, solid magnesium, burning. And magnesium burns as bright as the sun, dude. It's super bright. As soon as I uncovered it and they saw the glow, I had 3 fucking streams of water coming in, and all I could do was turn the traco around in time, because when that water hit that magnesium, it exploded. Because that's what magnesium does. It converts hot water straight into hydrogen. Kaboom. But anyhow, yeah, that happened. They didn't know, though. I guess they just thought that after I found the fire, it was time to put it out. It was fucking magnesium, because they couldn't see what I saw. Yep. All I could do was turn that bastard. I was soaking wet, too, after all that. Yeah, water on mag definitely doesn't work. Have you got an extinguisher on your bike? Ain't no extinguisher going to put out a darn lithium fire. You have to push that shit to the side and let it burn. Ain't nothing putting that shit. You could dump that shit underwater, it'll still burn. Yeah, lithium's scary. I will say this though, when they come out with them solid states, because I know they've been talking about them. I mean, hell, Chop, they've been talking about this shit for fucking ever. But I do have hope. Samsung and Toyota, Samsung and Toyota, they made an announcement by 2026 or 2027, one of the two. They said that they have a car, and this is the claim they made, that this car could go 750 miles on a single charge. And here's the best part: they said the charge only takes 10 minutes. Now, I have questions. I do have questions. The infrastructure. How the hell you gonna sit there and charge a car, like that in 10 minutes? Okay, solid states, I can understand it with solid states. Solid states can handle that. If they truly have it, which I believe in, if Samsung and Toyota says they have it, okay. Now, let's say the number. They always botch these numbers. They always say 750 miles, 10-minute charge. That's still very impressive. Like, let's say real world range was 600 miles. That's very impressive. Let's say they're 150 miles off. That's awesome. All right. 10-minute charge. Let's say it's not 10 minutes. Let's say it's 30 minutes. That's still fucking impressive, dude. 30 minutes, 600 miles. 9 times out of 10, when you're traveling 600 miles, or let's say 500 miles, because nobody really pushes them all the way to that, limit. Not everybody does. If you can go 500 miles, you're ready to kind of stand around, like eat something, take a break, in a car you would. Shit, fuck, you're charging your car, 30 minutes to do 500 more miles, dude. That's actually nuts. So what I'm hoping, because it's Samsung, see, Samsung's who makes the battery for my bike. And I'm going to say, if I can get my hands on them solid state batteries, man, I'll be set. They'll probably want a fortune, though. Most likely they're going to want a fortune, I can tell you. I'm going to have to sacrifice some fingers and toes for it. Maybe a whole foot. Let's see. I put a mag wheel on a bonfire. It blew the fire to bits. John Pickard, what's up, buddy? Let's see. Heaven Solder. EV Snakes, yeah. Let's see. It started with a globe, right? I looked at my father-in-law like an instinct. We turned and ran. That was like one of those see what happened was moments. Yeah. Yeah, dude. Let's see, I fell over a wheelbarrow. Shit. Damn. Man. I remember the craziest thing we would cut. Now, mind you, there's other ways to do propane tanks, safely. You could take all the valves out, after, you make sure all the pressure's out of it. Take all the valves out, fill it with some water, shit like that. Like, you don't have to fill the whole tank up with water. Just fill it up enough with water, roll it around, shit like that, And then you could throw a torch to it, There's safer ways, but let me tell you something. There was a way that we used to do this shit it was more entertaining than it was anything. Very dangerous, stupid dangerous. So what happened was, you would take a torch and a propane tank. Well, now when I say propane tank, I'm talking big ones. I'm talking like the ones you set out by houses and shit, and sometimes bigger than that. Anyhow, you set a proper torch up on this propane tank, and basically what you're doing is you're setting a timer. Lay it and run. And it used to be fun to watch whenever it would finally cut through. Watching this big ass tank fly around. Kaboom! Some of the loudest explosions in that town were, yeah. Anyhow. In my head, I could burn the tire off and weigh the rim. What the fuck was I thinking? Oh, man. Yeah, we all have moments like that. For instance, the propane tanks. Yep. I felt bad for Ira one time, man. He was cutting up an RV, and he didn't know it. But when he was cutting the frame rail, sometimes they put them propane tanks, and they look like an air tank, but they're not an air tank. They put them in the frame rails. Well, he was cutting through a frame rail, and he wasn't paying attention to the other side, and it was a propane tank, and that shit blew up and actually knocked his ass back. Yeah, it actually threw him on that one. That was a hell of an explosion. We heard it, and we come all running out there, and he was laying off in the pile over there like, damn. That fucking hurt. Yeah, by the time that wheel was done burning, all you could do was the old Thanos line. Gone. Reduced to atoms. I was a fishing bailiff on a set of lakes, and once a year we would clear brush and make bonfires. Not time to light them. I came back. Oh man, lucky to be alive. Yep. Oh yeah, he was lucky to be alive, dude. Yeah, that wouldn't hurt him. But sometimes you just take a licking and keep on with ticking. A few days later, I let someone put a gas tank inside. Kaboom! And sometimes you wouldn't expect some things to be so flammable or explosive, man, but they are. It's like any type of powder. Like if you got sawdust and shit like that, dude, if it spreads out, like let's say you're cutting up like an old trailer that hauled sawdust or some shit, and you hit an airline or something or some type of tank, if it blows that sawdust up and there's a fire, that shit will full on engulf you in a fire. It's crazy. Yep. It's like coffee grams. If you take coffee, or not coffee grams, like creamer. A lot of people don't know this about coffee creamer. If you use to sling that shit up in the air and it's all a powder, and you do it like near a candle or like a fire of some sort, you know, a torch, it'll all ignite. Just some things are like that, you know. No wonder old men can't hear. What's up, Vic? Yeah. This is why women live longer than men. Baby milk's the same, yeah. Yeah, wild times. This whole fire could have been prevented, though. That's just what pisses me off about it. The boiler fire, okay, it couldn't have been prevented. He could have helped, though. But this one, 100% could have been a small fire. Oh, I didn't mention this in the stream, but also, we got all them cars done, but also, we had a death out there. Now, it wasn't from an accident. It was crazy, though, man. Just, you never know when your time's up. Just hug your family close. That's all I can say. It was at this place. We were out there probably about 3 days, and I just talked to dude, you know. He was the old man that used to sit in the back shop. He'd always do all the cars and everything. He was a hell of a mechanic. But they said he hooked a battery charger up, sat down in the chair, and that was it. Gone. That had everybody kind of down, you know. Oh, I mean, it had everybody down. There ain't no kind to do it. He was you know, this guy that owns this yard's best friend. Yeah, that was crazy. All I know is we was out there, you know, doing our job, and we just happened to look over and shit, ambulances, fire trucks and shit were rolling up, and we was like, oh shit. And I got kind of worried because the reason I walked down, I was like, hold up, because I was digging in these frames. They have a bunch of subframes near the shops and all that, and I figured maybe one of those came dislodged and later on, you know, like while we was away, fell on somebody or something. That's what I was worried about, you know, because again, we was digging into that pile, and I know people kind of walk around that pile. But no, it was that. I hated to hear that. Yeah, they lost a good mechanic, man. He was a good dude too. He really was. What's up, Jesus Martinez? Let's see. That's why women live longer. Yep. Kern dust. Yep. They don't do stupid. They don't do stupid shit. Shit. My roommate went fishing and on the way came across a dead guy. Ain't that crazy? Yeah. Yep. So I'm a volunteer firefighter now. I didn't plan on that, but yeah, my buddy got me pulled into it. But I don't know, it's interesting. We had a dead guy. They found him. They kept smelling something in this area, and it was just off the side of the road. They found out he was out walking and just killed over. They don't think it was nothing nefarious or nothing like that, or wasn't homicide or nothing. He just died of natural causes, just walking, you know. But the problem was where he died, it was kind of off the beaten path, and it was next to a road, but it was kind of like off the road, so nobody saw him. And he had about 2 weeks worth of decay, which was pretty rough. So there's that. Yeah. Heart attack. Yeah, good for you. Yeah, no, you gotta wear the full-on suits on that one. Roadrunner, roadkill. Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, man, you learn a lot when you get into that. There's a whole backside of... There's just a whole process that nobody ever thinks about. You really don't want to think about it, but there is a whole process when you die. It's crazy. I feel bad for the people who have to, transport and deal like the morgue and all that, because sometimes they get some rough ones. And you don't realize it, man. And just talk about a job you have to deal with, dead people all the time. Like, that's your job, is to deal with dead people all the time. That's just, I don't know. That would just weigh on me. I feel too bad about it. These were people, I'd have more respect for it, though. I do. I respect anybody that does it, that's doing their job, But, right. Not fucking with dead bodies and shit, in a bad way. Because those people do exist. But me, it's more like, I feel bad. I respect them as best I can because, they got families and shit. And, man, I'd hate for me to be dealt with in a bad way if I was to die, which, again, we're all hidden that way. You never know. I don't know. Makes you older than you are. Yeah, dude. Yeah. There was one guy, so my buddy, he was working this one, and he's been there a lot longer than I have. There's this one guy they call in, and he's the one that mainly deals with pretty much all these cases, and everybody else is wearing these full-on masks and respirators and shit, they're breathing on their own oxygen and shit, and they just can't, they cannot be in the smell. And this guy walks in without nothing on. Like, I'm talking no respirator, and he says it smells like a normal day. I'm glad all your senses are burnt out. Oh, man. Donnie Sanford, what happened? This was way back. Oh, shit. My bad. This was way back when we had a fire. And I was talking about how it could have been prevented. This pile right here started catching on fire. Which is not good. Oh, watch this. Watch this. He's going to hit it, and there's going to be fire. Y'all should see it. Because he was kind of spraying the ground. Y'all can't see that, right? Yeah. Alright, so wait until he hits it right in here. I think you can see my mouse on there, right? Yeah. You'll see it like flamethrow that shit. Like right up over here. Getting closer, and at some point it happens. See, now the Chiefs done got here, they're kind of showing them. So I imagine this was more of like a learning experience. He was like, alright, now watch this, and it shot it up. I want to say that's what happened. I'm hoping that's what happened. Let's see. Yeah, we were just kind of like going over an old video. This is one of our old, like, I wasn't streaming too long at this point. Chop, you weren't even a moderator in this time, were you? I don't think so. Because I think I made y'all moderators in Mississippi on that one job. That's when I finally, like, did, moderation and all that. Yeah, this is well before all that. Like, this is old shit. We were complete noobs. Let's see. We're gonna have you stuffed and put in a loader with the live stream. Yeah, hello, dude. Nice to see you. It sounds now what happened. Was he Greaves from the mountains? What's up, Saya? Yep. We were just kind of going over it and just, how it could have been prevented. Like I said, this whole stack that caught on fire back here would have never happened had he moved 4 cars. Because really the video does no justice, but in person you could see what needed to happen. And had he moved just 4 cars that were sitting right here, which I'll go back for you. Where are we at right now? 235. We'll go back to when it was a fire. Alright. Make sure you see that. There's a full-on fire. So you can see how it started getting into that stack right there. Let's go back a little bit further. About right here. So see how that pile right there? Here, let me actually go over here to OBS because I gotta adjust the view. All right, see how right here? Let me put my mouse on the screen. Right here. All right, those cars right here. There's 4 cars right in here. Had he moved those, it would have never been a problem. Maybe 5. Let's say this one too because that's going to drop down a little bit. These caught on fire and it just made the fire that much worse. The fire would have been localized all right here. But he didn't move these until it was too late. See, he's just sitting here. That's stupid. Why are you just sitting here? You know? Then he goes and starts fucking with the backside of this pile for no reason at all. You know? It just makes no sense to me. But yeah, it all could have been prevented had he just moved these cars right here. Anyhow, let me put this back where it was because I think we adjusted the view. Let me go back up to, what was it, 235 we were at? Yeah, somewhere around in here. Okay. So you can see him, or I'll adjust the view to where you can see him. There we go. My bad. Okay, let me do this, bring that back up. There we go. I think we're back. Very sleepy. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Yeah, just some things were fudged on this one, for sure. And there's nothing I can do in this machine, because this machine here does not move. It's set where it's at. So it's not like I can just walk over there and help. It's stuck, and I can't just pull him off that machine, because, you know, he won't let me, you know. He won't let me pull him off of there, so... But I would have handled that way differently than what he had handled it. Just sucks. But what can you do? So we've pretty much seen all this, and then this is whenever I would go to lunch. So we're watching the fire department at this point. And then, let's see, we crushed a little bit more. Hey, I can show the crusher now. So there you go. Fire department's packing up. Okay, you can see my hydraulic leak there. See it go down. Alright, so let's get back to crushing. Boom. Alright, this is how the crusher works now that all the fire's done. Alright. Now, I did this purely for the camera whenever I would turn, open the doors and shit, you know. I was eating lunch. Yeah, you can see my plate. We were eating lunch. It was like eating popcorn watching the fire. Alright, I'm about to open it. Alright. Sure, he was for a nap and dreamt he could be do better. Yeah. Yeah. He wasn't ready. Yeah, I think I was still crushing one. Yeah. We was in the middle of this one. Yeah, we hadn't even finished it yet. Oh shit, well, I guess I could adjust the view. Hold it. Y'all can't see shit, can you? So we'll do that right there, right? Yeah. And there we go. Popcorn. Yeah. We were like that, you know the Michael Jackson meme where he's sitting there eating popcorn? That was us. Well, that was me. Like I said, we had a lithium fire, but it wasn't like that. Again, it's just all in how I processed it. Let's see, weird watch fire feel warm, watch snow feel cold. Watch Paris Hilton feel. Oh shit! Ah! It's bailing right now. That's why we're sitting here. Now, I learned to try to keep things interesting, I would just move, because you would also notice like a big drop on the stream. Because people don't like watching waiting, sometimes. Because like I said, once the Rams are going, you're kind of just sitting there at that point. So what I'll do is I'll turn the claw and I'll kind of do some other shit, just like, just doing something, and that way things stay moving. Because I will say that's another thing. If things don't move all the time, a lot of people just pass right on. Holy shit, we're at 8,000 views. Damn, almost 9,000. That's crazy. For a morning kind of just fucking around looking at shit, yeah. Alright, cool. Did the quality drop again? Yeah, it did, most likely. Let's see, where are you at right now? Ambient mode, normal, 1080p? Normal? I don't know, just weird. Like Michael Jackson said in one video, just watch. Now, I know y'all ain't seeing much, and it's only because, hell, on this one, the camera wasn't really pointed down much. Again, I didn't really have that many great camera angles, and this phone mount I had, this was actually the phone mount that kind of like, all right, let's do this. Let's actually start streaming. My wife, she's the one that actually suggested this, and I have to give her praise on the whole channel and where it's went. Again, like the content I had before, you'll see night and day compared to what I used to do to now. It was just motorcycle type shit and off-road and mini bikes and just shit along that. And I did that for like 2 years. It wasn't going nowhere. I had like 200 and some odd subscribers. It just wasn't nothing crazy, right? Anyhow, my wife said, I was like, I don't know. I'm probably just going to give up on the channel. Just, not really worry about it too much. And she says, why don't you record what you do at work? Yeah, how about that? So I started doing that, and, well, here we are. Surprisingly, like I said, when I'm doing this, now, these early streams, they didn't bring nothing, dude. I'm talking, I was a nobody. And let me tell you something, when you pass 500 subs, that's when stuff starts picking up. Because it was not long ago, and I promise you, I'm at 15,000 right now. It was not long ago I was at 500, We grounded all the way up until we got to this point, And then it's like as soon as it hit 500, boom, it skyrocketed. And I'm glad I made the moderators the people that stuck around all that time, like Chop. That stuck around all that time in the beginning, Made the day go by faster. Because there was nobody. There was at most, like right now, like you'd see maybe 20 people. Like right now it's 35 people watching, because these streams don't really bring much. But, as far as like, views. But when it was just nobody watching, and like I would have a total day's worth of maybe 100 something odd views. They were around most of the time, and that's why I said, well, after we was in Mississippi, we made y'all moderators, and it's like that way I don't lose y'all in the mist of a crowd of people, if it ever takes off. And it finally kind of took off. It's kind of taken off. It's not there yet, and right now what kind of hurts that is I'm not always in the machine, and that's what kind of hurts. If I had my own machine, it would be awesome. But I don't have my own machine, so I got a backhoe, but that ain't really, it ain't this. Try to destroy stuff with a backhoe, a small backhoe at that, it's not gonna work out too well. Look, I can scratch this car. Look, I busted the window. I put a dent in it. Oh, man. Yeah. I would like to, at some point, when we get big enough as a channel, to go out and buy like an old machine, and we can start making our own shit at that point, doing our own shit. And like I said, I could take jobs either dirt ass cheaper than anybody else, or free. We can start doing free jobs, and mainly just for the content, you know? And that way we all stay entertained. And it would be cool because then you'd be able to do so much. Demolition, land clearing, shit like that is my favorite. Cars, they're it's cool. Like I said, you come across a bunch of different shit, man. It's, you know, this is cool regardless. It's just, you know, sometimes, you know, my happy place is land clearing. Going through, knocking trees down, pulling them up by the roots, going through, making everything smooth, going, you know, just cleaning shit out, blazing a pathway, if that makes sense. You know, that's my favorite thing. You know, it's fun for me. But yeah, if I could do that, oh, that'd be wonderful. But if I could fly, that'd be even better. So yeah, I always said my dream job would be flying. This is my second. land clearing, and demolition, like tearing down houses. Steen got to tear down a house. That's what's crazy. Steen got to tear down a house. He popped in for a second in here, but he's busy. Yep. Yeah, I'd find that awesome. Going through, tearing down a house, digging a big ass hole and burying it. Yeah, dude, that would be awesome. Because I don't think firefighters really burn houses anymore for training. I know at least around here, they said they stopped all that, which, again, you know, sucks, but I guess it tisms what it tisms. See, be glad you're not always in the machine. You, Guardian Metal, what? You could also start, don't know, you can give, some credits and stuff just for fun. Take it $20 million. No joke, don't do that. Yeah, now, well, right now, you know, with my 15,000 subscribers, I got Mr. Beast kind of sweating, you know. He is kind of worried. Look, a washer. Oh, that's when the console fell. Yeah, it was a bad day all the way around, I think. Yeah. Yeah, the freaking console fell. This is when it hit my freaking knees. I held up the washer, yeah. That sucks. Oh, man. Yep, anyhow. Yeah, it's a big steel console, too. It hurt. Oh, well. Suck it up, Buttercup. Yeah. Now, Mr. Beast, I got him sweating. He's wondering why he's losing so many subscribers just because of me. You know, my 15,000 I stole from him. That's what it was. For real, though, that dude has a freaking train. Right? Like, I've never watched Mr. Beast, but I did, you know, after I started, like, you know, joking around about it and all that, I actually went back and watched some videos of his, and, this dude has a freaking full-on freight train in his yard. And he actually crashes it through shit. Derails it and does, like, dude, that is what you call straight up FU money. This dude can do anything. It's like Whistling Diesel. This man just built a killdozer, a full-on accurate replica of a killdozer. The only difference is he can actually get in and out of it. So Marvin Heemeyer couldn't. But yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. Sometimes when you got that much money, you can do shit. Like, I got some ideas. If I had money, I'd be dangerous, dude. I could do some pretty cool shit. But, you know, tisms what it tisms. Oh. Popping another one out. So some of these don't really crush that good, as you can see here. Especially frames, you know. Because we were adding those frames. This was, I think, a truck bed and the front of a frame, and we added some subframes to it. They don't do that good. They don't stack good at all, either. Oh, shit. Got hung up. There we go. get it right. Sometimes frames just, it kicks over. Kind of does weird. You see how long it would be before I'd get a car? You know? Like, he'd be doing one at a time here and there, just nothing really. You know, he's just off, kind of fucking off by himself. And I mean, there would be times that I would wait hours. Hours for a freaking car, dude. And I remember there was this one time this happened. I come in, fired the machine up, got it all ready, and waited. And I shit you not, I didn't crush a single car that whole day. Now, I serviced the baler, I greased it the whole nine, dude. Went over the whole thing, man. I mean, there's only so much you can fucking do. And after that, okay, you're out of shit to do. Yep. He stayed busy all day, doing what the fuck ever, you know, and you'd think, okay, well, the next day I would be completely swamped with cars. No, I wasn't. I just wasn't. He literally fucking just held back the whole day. Drug it out to where, you know, just riding the clock, I guess. He did that shit and it always pissed me off, dude. I'm ready to get the job done and get out of there, you know. Especially having to drive through Memphis. I hate Memphis, dude. Golly, I hate Memphis. See, the way Frenzio stuffs cars, which this one wasn't really stuffed, but I know the way he stuffs cars, man, I don't like picking them up from the side because all that shit falls out. And with me and Chase, oh yeah, this is the one he left a gas tank on, was it? So I was flipping it over, I think, to try to get that off. So this is before the teeth were welded on. Yeah, still had the gas tank on it. Yeah. So I had to do that for him. Spends all that time over there, didn't even get the gas tank off of it. And that's wild if I'm having to process a car. Pop. And it's out. Throw that shit. What else? Got the old tree fitty in it. Was that a 4-wheel drive too? Damn, the quality gets so bad from time to time, the frames just drop. It looks like that for me too, y'all. No, that might have been a 2-wheel drive. We had one just like this when I was a kid. It was the same color and everything, but it was a 4-wheel drive. Okay, yep, I was cleaning this out. Yeah, I told Chase and I said the biggest thing you gotta worry about inside that baler are leaf springs and shit like that. Because it'll bust those leaf springs up and they're little small shards, and the problem is they'll get behind the rams, and when your rams are tracked, it'll get all up into the cylinder, and you don't want that. If you ever have to rebuild a ram, it sucks. The cylinder, I shit you not, is that big around. I don't know if y'all can see that. It's that big around. Straight, it's solid chromoly. Fucking heavy. You have to use a traco, but you gotta get these wooden stands out. They're soft. Pull it all the way out. The piston, the motherfucker that big, you know. Hell of a job. You have to rebuild it inside the baler. You lose so much friggin'. You have to try to vacuum all the wool out, drain it all out, so you can reclaim it. Because man, you want to talk about losing some wool? That's how you lose oil right there. Suck the cylinder all the way in, unhook the line, pull the cylinder out as it's draining that line back into the tank. And that way you don't lose as much. But you're going to lose some fluid, that's for sure. That's like anytime you blow a line when you're in the middle of a bale, that sucks. It's so much pressure, you know, and those lines are so large that when it does blow at one of the main lines on the doors or on the rams, it'll lose fucking buckets worth of oil before you can get it stopped. Like, I'm talking just hitting the cancel button, but like it, boom, cancel, stopped. It already lost probably about 5-6 buckets worth of oil. Shot out, gone. Yep. The arm is not where the power is at. The power is in the baler. It actually runs 2 pumps up here where the motor is, right up there where the claw is at right now. So there's a twin drive gear system up front, and there's 2 pumps. One pump's for the baler, one pump's for the arm. That's why you can use the arm separate of the baler while it's running. Yep. It's got a hell of a valve block for the baler. It's got a hell of a system set up for it, an accumulator for it. But yeah, this brings back some memories. How frustrating this shit was. Because I bet if you was to go back in the videos, which I really don't want to, but I'm pretty sure I've said if I could run that Trico, I'd have me some cars. Because I know I was very frustrated with it, man. It's like, man, come on, let me bail, dude. And now Chaston can't catch a break. I keep his ass loaded up with cars all the time. There's only been 2 times he went without cars, and the only reason for that was because I was having to load motors up from the other cars that I processed. Danny would back in, and we'd load his trailer up. Old Danny. I had to stop twice to do that, and that's the only time he ever caught up on me. After that, I had his ass stacked right back up. I looked at him, I said, see, this is what Frenzio was supposed to be doing. Keeping that baler, packed up and going. That was a torsion rod there. I think I pulled out of there. See, shit like that, you don't want getting behind that ram. Now, another thing I gotta get Chasing to do, that I used to do, was do them clean outs. Because I've been noticing sometimes he'll go a little bit too long in between clean outs. The behind the rams, you got to keep that shit clear. Chat ain't stuck, is it? Hope not. Whoa. I saw shit kind of freeze there for a second. Yep. Golly, the frame rates are so awful. And I promise you, it's not the internet connection. It's just the shitty video, I guess. It's probably the signal I had at the time. So this is what y'all are talking about whenever you say it kind of washes out, And this is probably where I experienced. See, if I had a good camera, man, like I'm talking that would work with vertical live stream, it'd be wonderful. And the only way I could think I could do that with using this type of setup where I'm on OBS and all that would be using the actual computer. Yep. Like put like a mini PC inside the cab. The only downside to that is you can't just swap from cab to cab. You got to be in the same seat pretty much the whole day, which can happen. Like I said, we go out on jobs with Chaston. That'll happen. That way I can fire up a mini PC and we could have all this shit preset and going, and then I could run like a really good camera. If I can make GoPro work, but GoPro's fucking stupid, dude. I don't know what the hell. What's up, Edelos Tigers? Hello, hello, hello. Yeah, GoPro, man. So let me tell you this. This little Vivitar freaking 4K action camera you get from Walmart, of all places. This little camera you can plug into the computer, and guess what? It fucking works. It just works. There's no extra shit you gotta download. There's no extra bullshit you gotta go through. It just plugs in to a USB port, and it works. Now, explain this. This camera costed like $70 at the time I got it. Alright? The GoPro costs over $400. Got a great picture. This sumbitch, if you plug it into the computer, it will do nothing. There's nothing. You gotta download all these programs and shit, and then when you download all the programs, guess what? It still does nothing. Because the programs are so buggy and don't work. Like, I can't even get the app to open. You know? I got the latest software, the whole nine. Like, I went to GoPro's, page and all that, and actually downloaded for Windows and all that, right? It doesn't matter what you do, it will not work. You have to go through all this bullshit just to try to make a GoPro work with a computer and as a webcam, because I'd have to have that if we're to do this with a small, computer, right? But it's not going to work. So stupid. Such an expensive camera, and they don't have just plug and play. You got to go through hoops and hollers just to try to make it work, and it's not. No, fuck you on that. Why is it? That's like Arlo. If anybody has a security system, all right, do not get Arlo. That's one camera I will always say never get. I got my cameras right at the exact same time they did the end of life bullshit. See, you can get an Arlo camera, and they were good cameras. Back before that, when they built their customer base, they were really good cameras, man. They had crystal clear images, you can see shit, make shit out in the dark, Like, I'm talking night vision, you could read a tag. It was that clear. Alright, they used to have free 7-day video history, which is perfect for a security camera, right? Okay, so, I wouldn't need nothing over 7 days. I could, even if they did like 24 hours, if something goes down, something happens, you got 24 hours to get this video off of here, or else it just gets looped over, right? It gets deleted. Okay, that's fine. That would be fine. These stupid sons of bitches, dude, they turn around, they end of life the cameras, they absolutely nerf the camera. All you can do is live view this camera. It'll give you alerts, and that's it. But you only got live view, and live view sucks. Because I'm going to tell you something, I saw this shit firsthand. Before the subscription ended, they were such crystal clear quality, they connected fast. As soon as you connected into the live, boom, it was there. No time. Like, you got the alert, connect, boom, you were seeing the live view. I know it's not the internet. Again, I got fiber optic. The second the subscription run out, because I refuse to have to pay a monthly fucking bill to use a camera like that. It's so stupid. But yet, if you don't pay the bill, you lose. It's literally completely a useless camera. You cannot do anything with it. There's nothing you can do. They dropped the video quality. I shit you not. This is real. I watched this happen real time. The second the subscription ended, you can't make shit out in the camera. It's like this shit right here we're watching. See how blurry it is? That is what you see on Arlo cameras when you don't pay a subscription. If I was to pay the subscription, that shit would be crystal clear. Bullshit. Anyhow, you lose that. It does. Obviously, you don't have no recording unless you buy this fucking base and all this other extra shit, which you shouldn't need. Of course, you have to stick SD cards and then pull those out, and they just make it suck. So you pay the subscription. Fuck them. I'm not doing it. Anyhow, even the alerts go down to where they use a shit ton of battery for whatever the fuck reason. You can't shade out areas. See, that's a feature you got to pay for now. You can't even shade out areas that you don't want the alerts in. That's a payable feature. That's so stupid. All right, how is it that I buy these expensive ass fucking cameras and then they turn around and nerf them when you don't pay for a subscription? That's just, I don't know, man. I'm done with them. When they pulled that shit, I became a lifelong enemy of theirs. I will tell everybody to steer clear, avoid them bastards. That's what I've always wanted to do, and I collect license plates. Oh yeah, Steven collects them. I collect them for him anytime I find them. I got some pretty cool plates for them. California, shit, old Tennessees, not the flats, the old Tennessee stamped, shit like that. Yeah, so stupid. Yeah. Yeah, I just, Arlo cameras suck. You know, and it's not really the camera that sucks, because I know what the camera can do. It's the fucking company that sucks. Whoever's in the suit up top, they fucked up. Because that shit looks like this right now. Golly, dude. Fucking greed, man. That you would have such a highly rated company and then turn around and fuck it over like that. Damn. I'm still salty about that shit. I paid $900 fucking dollars for them cameras. And then, like, I'm talking, this is my fucking luck. It was, like, right as the fucking, the time to send them back was running out. Like, I'm talking, it was, like, it run out, and then, boom, end of life happened. And then they just fucking nerfed everybody's camera. It just sucks. Anyhow. So, best security system you can get. Don't do subscriptions, anything like that. Do a closed circuit, and then you could probably go in and put some type of... I don't know. There's things you can do now that I know, that can go around all that bullshit. You don't need a subscription or nothing. You know, you'll still get alerts, all that, but your shit is on a closed system. You know, that's what we got now. So fuck them. I'm not fixing to pay. I'm not fixing to pay to use something I already bought. You know the whole subscription shit. I'm sick of that shit, dude. You're going to have 20 subscriptions just to use basic shit, you know? It's just, it's stupid. That's like TV, man. Used to, streaming was the thing. You know, who wants to pay a bill of fucking $200 a month, you know, for cable and, you know, satellite TV? Fucking cloud pops up in the sky, you lose that. And then on top of that, you're paying over $200, nor sometimes some people are paying like $300. And you're still watching ads. You're watching ads, dude. That's what's so crazy about satellite TV and shit, man. You're paying all this fucking money, and every fucking thing has ads. You know, you have to pay extra to get shit without ads, and even then, all your TV shows and shit still have ads, dude. Like, what the fuck? Pay more money, still watch ads. And then, at that time, you know, streaming wasn't necessarily a big thing. So we got, like, I'm talking the best fucking movies, man, for nothing. In a lot of cases, it was nothing. And if you wanted ad-free, now I used to do it right? I didn't want to pirate the shit, you know, so I would take and pay that. But it was so little. It was like, it was worth it, right? It was honest, you know. Hey, you only pay like $3, you know, $5 at the most, you know, and you get access to all these fucking movies, dude. And I'm talking ad-free, truly. TV shows, ad-free. It was so fucking amazing. And then once everybody fucking caught on, once these big-ass fucking, you know, companies caught on, and they stuck their greedy little fucking fingers all in it. Now it's about as bad as cable. You know, now they're fucking high as hell, you know, just to have each subscription. And then they pass these subscriptions. You see how they do it, right? Some movies they'll take and remove it off of this, but you can only watch it on this platform. So now you got to get a subscription over here. All right, well, then it's not available there. Now it's over here. So now you got to get a subscription to have it over here. And you have like 4 or 5 different subscriptions just to use this shit. And each of these subscriptions costs north of $25 now. You know, all that shit. And you know what I find even crazy? So this is when I dropped all the streaming services. Because, again, I refuse to be a part of this shit, dude. One day I hopped on here, and used to they went up in price. They were like around $8 to $10 or some shit, you know, in some cases. And I was still fine with that. It was still way the fuck cheaper than cable or you know, satellite. But, and I still had ad free. Well, all of a sudden, they changed it over to where you now pay $8 to $10. You still watch ads. Now, that part I don't fucking agree with, dude. If I'm paying money, I shouldn't have to fucking watch ads, regardless. Now you got to pay like 20-something odd dollars just to fucking watch ad-free experience. Fuck you. Fuck that system. I'm done, you know. Y'all lost me, all right? I'm not going to do it. So I dropped all that shit, got rid of it all, and luckily... At the time I did it, because used to, if you tried to drop that shit, you had to jump through so much shit just to cancel a fucking subscription. Used to, I would have to go on the card and cancel and block them motherfuckers, because they would want you to send emails, do all this extra shit. Well, finally they passed that thing in Congress where if it's just as easy to get a subscription, it should be just that easy to get out of a subscription. Because they did that shit on purpose. They did that shit on purpose because you would have to go through so much trouble to get out of a subscription that you would just kind of give up, right? No, fuck you. I'm done. So luckily that was passed. I was able to get out the subscriptions easy, this time. So yeah, I'm done. I'm out. So y'all lost me. So now you turned me into a full-on pirate. Is what it is. Sorry, not sorry. Y'all fucking did it. Yep. Y'all fucking did it. That's like even YouTube. So the one thing I do pay for is YouTube Premium. I know. I hear you. It sucks. I pay the $21 a month, and that's for 3 phones. All right, that's for my phone, my wife's phone, and I pay for my father's phone. He uses it. He's on it. They used to do that whole same household shit, type of deal. So luckily they stopped doing that. So he's fine. So yeah, he can use it at his house, no problem. But anyhow. So that's what I do. And the thing that always pisses me off with that, I pay for the ad-free experience, and I'm trying to do shit right on here, and yet, these what do you call them, sponsors and shit. The ads have figured their way to get right back in your fucking feed, even if you pay to get out of it. It's so ridiculous. And I'm going to tell you something. This is something, I promise you, this won't happen. You can come back to this video. I don't give a shit. Like, they can offer me $50,000 to put these sponsorships in the middle of the video. I'm not doing it. If they slip it in, I'm going to be fucking pissed. But I'm not doing that. It's either going to be, because this is my rule. It's either at the very beginning of a video or the very end. I can respect creators that do that. They'll put the sponsor at the very end or at the very, very beginning. I'm not talking about 5 minutes after the video starts. That shit pisses me off too. I'm talking very beginning. Knock the fucking sponsor out. That way I can skip past it and then it's over with. There are so many fucking podcasts, and even Joe Rogan fell for this shit, dude. He started doing it. Where they have sponsors all through the fucking thing, man. And I'm telling you, when you're working and you have something in your ear, and let's say you got YouTube Premium, right? You're not having to skip ads, dude. And you come across sponsors, and they're fucking 2 to 3 minutes long, dude. In some cases, some of them are even 5 minutes long. It just depends on how much they fucking pay, I guess. But, man, and you gotta stop, pull your phone out, skip past, and I'm like, dude, I got Premium. Why is it not a feature on Premium to go ahead and pre-skip that bullshit, right? Why is that not a thing? I pay Premium to get rid of the ads, and yet I'm still having to watch ads. The forced ads, the ones that, what I mean by forced, the ones that are in the video itself. Like, come on, what the fuck? Yep. Yeah, the YouTube Premium's the only one I got, But yet the fucking sponsors, man. I'm not against sponsors. Again, they do help a lot of channels out, that are starting out, Now, some of them, they'll fuck you over. They'll screw you over, I gotta watch out for that. But the ones I respect are the channels I respect more than anything are the ones that do it at the extremely very beginning or at the very, very end. Those are the ones that are so nice. I do not watch channels for the pure reason that they have that shit dotted all throughout their stream. I can't stand it. I don't like it. There's no way I can do it. That's like that, everybody found out with that, what was that, Honey, was it? I think that was the name of that scam-ass company. They took in, let's see, what was it? Yeah, so you would use Honey to find better deals and whatnot, and what the problem was, they were actually stealing from the creators. The creators were making nothing off of that, and they were sitting here advertising that shit. And anytime somebody would click a link and they would use Honey as the extension, Honey was making all the commission off of all these sales. Ain't that crazy? And it's like people kind of forgot about that. That shit kind of disappeared in obscurity, Anyhow. And they're not the only ones, too. I mean, there's other ones out there, one guy figured that out and he was like, holy shit, hold up. Yeah, and that's exactly what was happening. Fucking Honey was scamming the fuck out of creators. Yep. But yeah, I don't do the subscriptions, dude. It's like the only subscription I have is the YouTube. Hey, there's a Hummer. Squirrel. Is the YouTube one, and that's only because I kind of use YouTube. This is what I do now, so I mean it's not what I do obviously full time. It's just I have to be on here, so I'd rather not have to deal with ads, you know. That's like on here on the computer. So that's another thing. So on the phone, it only says it plays a beginning ad and that's it. On here, they force ads all throughout, and I don't like that. And what's bad is if you don't have a video monetized, they still run ads, so they're still making money off of it. So, and according to Angry Cops and all them, you know, Eli on was it Double Tap or something like that? You know, the Unsubscribed podcast. They have a streaming service called Pepperbox TV, and they said that it's not expensive at all. Like all these companies lying, saying it's all this, you know, expense that goes into maintaining all this, you know, these servers and shit. You know, they's like, dude, we have thousands upon thousands of movies. Like you notice how like Netflix and all that, they drop movies. The movies leave and they go to a different platform and whatnot, and they say it's, you know, expenses and shit like that. No, fuck that. These are, it's not. Dude, you can hold those movies indefinitely. You know, they only do that to make you. They're all in cahoots with each other. They just are. It just is what it is. They all get together. They want to pass the money around. So now everybody's getting subscriptions. You know, it's just people fall for that shit. Fuck it. I'm not doing it. I don't know. After they stuck their fingers all into the streaming world, fuck that. I'm out of it. Yep, I'm out of it. They lost me. Look how long it's taken just to get this one stack. Dude ain't bringing no cars, man. Golly, it's so blurry. I gotta sit on max, too. It's like whenever the machine shakes, it's just awful. Let's see, oldest. There we go. Let's see. Oh, this is when I was trying to do the, you know, these type of streams. Let's see. That's when I put those ammo cans on the back of that. Okay, that was... So, yeah, I don't have heat in these balers, so I was freezing my ass off. There's the trucks. This is when I load trucks right here. Look, see this cold as shit, dude, outside. Yeah, bring that up to speed. There we go. Yeah, it's cold as shit outside, man. We got these trucks. Hey, that's when Earl had his truck. That's his Freightliner. Yep. I was trying to keep the window wiped. My lights don't work now. That's another thing we're struggling with. Freaking lights on the baler don't work now. Poor old LEDs finally went out. I told my boss, man, dude, it's time to work on that baler, man. It's like he did all that fucking work painting this thing. Like you can see it's all painted in this one. I'm talking they spent 40 grand putting lipstick on this motherfucker. and they put a new pan underneath and just painted it. 40 grand, dude. You could have spent 40 grand going through the motor, getting that sumbitch just, I mean, absolutely right. Which is right. I mean, it works. It's just, it wouldn't hurt. I mean, 40 grand could have been well better spent than just putting fucking paint on the motherfucker. Anyhow, could have put all new lines on it. 40 grand now. Could have really went through the motor. Could have put all new lines on it. All new, hydraulic hoses, which it desperately needs on the bottom. Especially right there where the cab is. And then that cab. I mean, there was so much better shit you could have done with 40 grand than just try to make the shit look good, Shit like that I don't understand, I would have insulated the cab. I would have completely stripped everything outside the cab, got the AC, the heat working, would have got, because again, and it's not just the fact that, I'm freezing my ass off in there. That's not even the bad problem. The bad problem is I can't see shit. The window fogs and ices over inside, left and right, and it's hard to see anything. There's my bald-headed ass. Yeah, it's cold as shit out there, too. Yep. But yeah. Just, there was so much shit that could have been done for 40 grand. And all they did was paint this thing, put a new pan on it, and fix a fender on it. And that was it. Somebody fucking won great on that. I'm just saying. $40,000, man. I could have done real shit, like real important shit, All the solenoids, too, that's another thing. It might have cost just a hair bit. Let's say it would have cost about 45 grand. I'm talking all new solenoids that control the machine, a new electric tree for the underneath the cab, reseal all that shit back up. I could have spent that money so much, way smarter than what they did. And it's just, important shit that actually makes the machine work. But it sure looked great rolling down the highway that first day, and then after it got used one time on a job, it looked about the same. Had all the scratches on the doors and all that. Yeah, it's a machine. It works. It's a working machine. You're not going to keep it pretty all the time. It's just not going to happen. That pan was a complete waste of time. The old pan was just fine. They're going to get dents. Shit's going to fall on them, As you're picking cars up, heavy shit, rotors and things like that are falling out and hitting that pan. It just is the nature of the machine. Why waste money on making it look pretty? Like, you could have went through, welded. Like, I'm talking like it needed a few places welded. They never got welded. Just strengthened back up. Trying to get them backed in. But, yeah. Could have rebuilt some valve blocks. I mean, golly, there was so much that could have been done right. Yeah, here we were. I don't know. I just think that was money well wasted. Yeah, I think everybody remembers when I rigged up my AC shit that I had. Like, I had some backwoods hillbilly ass AC setup in that cab. I used a window unit. I stuck it on top of the cab and the generator too with it. And so I'd fire the generator up. I had it strapped to the literal top of the cab. And I run a hose from the AC unit down, and I actually cut out a, that silver bubble wrap insulation type deal you can get from Lowe's. I had that, and I actually had the hose coming through that, and I used magnets to hold it on the inside of that, where that bottom window popped out at. And that's what I used. That's what I tried to keep the cab cool with. And it kind of worked. It wasn't the greatest. Again, the cab is not insulated. And the bad part is the sun. So when it beats down on top of the cab, there's no roof insulation. So that shit literally comes right inside. So when it's hot outside, dude, the top of your head is fucking on fire. Because you can hold your hand up and you can feel right where just the heat is. And it's just right there where the top of your head, about eye level, is where all that shit just radiates down. It sucks. And in the wintertime, it's no better, man. It ain't got seals for shit. And the only thing I was able to do in the wintertime was take that generator, set it out on the platform, and I have a little electric heater because you don't want to use gas. Don't use gas heaters. Don't use nothing like that. It won't work. It's propane heat is too wet. On top of that, you could die. You know, it's just let's seal me up in a cabin and run a propane heater. That sounds smart. But regardless, it's still wet. Just you'll have condensation dripping on you all the time. Then but the electric heat really worked well. I have to give it that. And I don't know how Chasen dented that son of a bitch up, but he did. He dented the fuck out of the front of it. But anyhow, hopefully it still works for this year, because he gonna be needing it. I gotta fix the heat in the Traco. So I got the AC working, but now I gotta fix the heat. For some reason it won't swap over, so I'm thinking it's gonna be, I don't know. I'm gonna check. I didn't see no valves. Sometimes on the heater cores they'll stick valves, but I don't remember seeing a valve. So, for some reason the heat's out. I gotta fix that. This was the only downside to that truck. That long, frame, long nose truck. Getting backed in was difficult. Yeah, and I didn't have a horn, so I was having to flash the lights. That's another thing, it needs a horn. There's no communication, Yeah, let me skip it forward to where we're actually loading the truck. Okay, we get him backed in. Okay, so we're loading him. But he was taking forever. Actually, I think he was already loaded. Yeah, I think Frenzio loaded him. This one I loaded. Obviously. Yeah. DO5. Some old Volvos. Oh. That's not it. That's just a regular flashlight, but he does have a dick flashlight. It projects a dick. It's bright as shit, too. We were all like, what the f... Truck driver humor. Hey. You okay? Tired? Tired? Mm. Well, he'll get back in there eventually. I said, he'll get back in there eventually. So, you know how I named this part of the channel After the Crush? And yet I was just looking at live view outside, watching the sunrise, shit like that. It kind of makes sense to actually watch the old Crush, right? Right? Talk about it. Makes better sense than what I was doing. So we would knock the trailers. Early in the morning. Normally they can't really see that well. Boom! Knock it. You're good. And that's it. And now we load. Did he? Dang. 3 o'clock. Yep. Jason's getting a little better at loading trucks too. He's kind of getting the gist of it. He still kind of makes mistakes, but that's expected. That thing's going off. Breathe out. Like I said, the little pumpkin thing last night that we was watching, it's got a cool sound to it. It's just right towards the end it sounds awful. He snarls. He's like, this doesn't sound good at all. What I do is I come up, I'll go all the way to the bottom of the trailer, and then I'll swing this because the baler don't really have much side to side, strength, So what I'll do is I'll swing it, smack the bales, and it'll scoot them over to where they need to be. But yep, when you're loading these trailers, it's all by feel. Can't see nothing down in there. You just gotta do it by feel. Oh, here's trouble. Oh. He brought his blanket. That poor baby. Huh? That poor bubby. And brought his blanket.
Well, it's yours, but...
Yeah. What's mine is his. I actually shocked the window, so it must not have been that cold this day. You can tell it's definitely still wintertime-ish. All the leaves are gone. Because normally the windshield's so fogged up you can't see shit. See, back here, when I was doing these... Hey, little man. When I was doing these kind of lives, it was rare you would see me. Like, I'd popping out like that on the platform where you actually saw me early on. Yeah, no, you would have never seen that. That was like once in a blue moon you'd see that. Then I think when I finally went on camera fully was when I did the ambulance stream. I see. Yeah, I know it. I do. I see that. Yeah. So, yeah, I know. It's not one to stay, is it? You can let it go. Yeah. Oh, you gotta come over this way. Come over this way. Let it set it down. There you go. Good job. There you go. That's good. Come here. Here, just push it. Push it a little bit. There you go. It's good. You're good. Come here. Tell the daddy. Did you get a Band-Aid? Did you get a Band-Aid for your boo-boo? Oh, careful. Easy does. Oh, that's a big boy. Look, see where Daddy was loading the trailer? Look at that. Hey, what color is that? What color is that? He's like, it's too early, Daddy. Yeah.
I can't do stuff like that when I wake up.
Bless you. Bless you.
Wow.
You just farted. See how it is? Come over here and gas on me. Bless you. Ooh, snot. Bless you. Ooh, more snot. Daddy bless you. Well, we're going to go ahead and end the stream here.
What?
Bless you.
The morning sneeze.
Oh, yeah. Well, we got up to 12,000 views. What's up, Saya? But, yeah, 12,000 views. That's crazy, dude, for these type of streams. Like I said, normally we do about, anywhere from 100 to 200. In some cases, when we get those really good streams going, and, I don't know, just hit the algorithm just right, it's like 350,000. Bless you! Which, I mean, hell, I'm not bullshitting. Hell, I could do this. Watch. Let's see. Let's go back. Okay, popular. Booyah! Yeah, 352,000, 219,000, 205. I mean, just it. Like I said, they get a lot of views, man. Yep, it's crazy. Well, any hoot. Guess that one.
Hey, what are you doing?
Any hoot. Let's pull this one back up. And OBS. Okay, there we go. Alright. Well, it was fun, everybody. But I'm out. Oh, wait. I know it. What? What? Oh, Daddy. Oh. Daddy loves you. Anyhow, y'all, I'm out. We're gonna start having family time. It's all about family time. Mwah.